Well, hello friends and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. So in this episode, I want to answer the question, what is the best value road bike you can currently buy from Canyon? And I believe it is the Canyon Endurace CF7 Di2, which has a retail price of 2,700 US dollars or 2,600 British pounds or approximately 2,700 euros, depending where you are based in the world. And in this video, I will give you my reasons why I believe this is the best value road bike from Canyon you can currently buy. So, okay, first thing first, Canyon Endurace platform, who is this bike for? So Canyon Endurace platform is all about endurance road bike. So a bit more relaxed geometry. Everything is designed for the kind of long days in the saddle and to be as comfortable as possible. So you don't have to expect this frame and the fork, to be the lightest possible or the stiffest possible. This is not the point of this bike. The point is relaxed geometry and a comfortable bike ride. So just keep that in mind if you are in the market for the Canyon Endurace platform. As I said, the retail price is 2,700 US dollars, which I believe is an excellent price considering what you will get with this bike. So when you look at the paint schemes, for the US market, there are two paint schemes on offer. One is this stealth, totally blacked out paint scheme, and then there is this beautiful light blue paint scheme. In my opinion, it's a much better paint scheme, so I would definitely go with this kind of a light blue paint scheme. But definitely, if you like the totally blacked out bike, then of course, at least you have another choice. If you are in Europe, you will definitely have another paint scheme to choose from, and they are calling it the light lobster paint scheme, or I would almost call it like some kind of light orange paint scheme with a hint of black, a very stunning paint scheme. And I'm not so sure why this paint scheme isn't offered on the US market. I think it would be a great hit also on the US market. But just keep in mind that if you are based in Europe, you have another paint scheme to choose from. Okay, now we can dive into the specifications of this bike, and I will give you a few of the main reasons why I believe that this is the best value bike you can currently buy from Canyon. Of course, I have to mention here that since there are always, some problems with the supply chain, and is this bike available on your market, yes or no? As I see currently, as I'm recording this, it is available on the US market. On the European market, you will probably need to wait a bit more until certain sizes become available. But this is always a kind of a problem with these direct-to-consumer brands like Canyon, that sometimes the sizing of the bike might be out of the stock. Okay, with all this story out of the way, let's dive into the specifications of this bike and really see what do you get for your hard-earned money. So when it comes to the frame and the fork on this bike, so this is the Canyon CF level carbon fiber frame and the CF level carbon fiber fork. So this CF level is the lowest level of the carbon fiber that Canyon does. Above that you have the CF SLX level, and then even above that the CFR level. But when it comes to the Endurace level of the bikes, there is a CF level of the carbon and CF SLX level of the carbon bikes. This carbon frame comes with a 6 years warranty from Canyon, which is just a decent bike warranty. And also there is 12mm through axles front and the back, and the flat mount disc brakes. So listen, this carbon frame and the fork is going to be perfectly fine. I have no special complaints about it. I truly believe that the quality control is going to be perfectly fine on this level of the carbon fiber frame and the fork. Now let's look at the drivetrain on this bike, and here is where I think that for the asking price of, as I said, approximately 2,700 euros, 2,600 US dollars, I think this is an excellent value for money, and this is one of the secret sauces of this bike. So the whole drivetrain, so shifters, front mech, and the rear mech, everything is Shimano 105 Di2 electronic group set. So this is a 12-speed electronic group set from Shimano, absolutely superb electronic group set, there's no questions about it. And I'll just mention here that this is not a fully wireless group set, because with Shimano's electronic group set, your rear mech and the front mech are connected with a cable, and then you have a wireless communication between the shifters and the front mech. When it comes to this rear mech, it can accept the cassette all the way to 36 tooth, which is absolutely excellent in the future if you are upgrading, because currently the cassette on this bike, it is a Shimano 105 cassette, 1134, again excellent. It is paired with the Shimano 105 crankset, and these crankset are 5036 crankset on this bike, so you definitely have a huge range of gears on this bike for, spending a lot of time in the saddle, climbing any steep mountains. You have no problems. And as I say, in the future, even if you want to upgrade the cassette to some crazy sizes like 1136, it is possible, but this 1134 is perfectly fine. Bottom bracket on the bike is a press fit Shimano press fit bottom bracket, BB86, standard stuff. I'm not expecting any creaking noises here. When it comes to the braking system, again, superb Shimano 105 hydraulic disc brakes, front and the back. And I'll just mention here that the braking rotors are the Shimano XT braking rotors, MT800, superb braking rotors. As I see here from the main images, front and the back, 160mm braking rotors with the Shimano's ice freezer technology, so superb heat dissipation and stopping power on these braking rotors. And definitely you see in the future, when you destroy these rotors, I can always advise you to keep it on the Shimano Ultegra level rotors, or you can use these Shimano XT braking rotors, which are from the Shimano's mountain bike world. Now let's talk about the wheel set on this bike. Of course, you can't expect miracles on this bike, and this Fulcrum Racing 900 DB wheel set is a classical aluminum wheel set from Fulcrum, specifically designed, for OEM manufacturers. So the total weight is 1,950 grams. The rim height is 22 millimeters front and the rear, and the internal rim width is 19 millimeters. I will just mention here spokes 28 front and the back. These are rounded spokes, and the hubs front and the rear, some kind of classical aluminum hubs with the sealed cartridge bearings. Listen, this aluminum wheel set from Fulcrum Racing 900 DB, it is a decent workhorse of a wheel set, and definitely you can run it as long as possible, and once when you destroy it, then you definitely have a choice of upgrading, and I always advise you to have a look at something from Di2 Swiss, from their aluminum range. In this case, 1,950 grams for this wheel set is just decent, nothing special in this department, as I say, a proper workhorse of the Fulcrum Racing 900 wheel set. These wheels are wrapped in Schwalbe 1 tires, and it's a great thing here that there are 30mm tire front, 32mm tire at the back, so huge air volume in these tires, and it's definitely gonna contribute to the smooth bike ride. I would just mention here, in the future, if you are upgrading the tires, I can always suggest you to have a look at Continental tires, Vittoria tires, Pirelli tires. These would be like top choices, and definitely stick with 30mm tires or even 32mm tires, just because of huge air volume and the smooth bike ride. Now let's look at some of the smaller components, so handlebar and the stem. Both handlebar and the stem are the aluminum pieces from Canyon, separate pieces, nothing is proprietary here, which is great, so it's easy to upgrade in the future if you want, or easy to adjust your position on the bike, and definitely I have no complaints here about these aluminum pieces. It is perfectly fine, and personally I wouldn't bother of upgrading these pieces to the carbon fiber. It's just not worth your money, in my opinion. Now let's talk about the saddle and the seat post. So the seat post is the Canyon's carbon fiber seat post with a standard 27.2 millimeters in diameter. It's gonna superbly absorb some of the smaller road bumps. And the saddle, in my opinion, again, a superb choice, Selle Italia saddles. Personally, I like Selle Italia saddles, but If it's your personal preference that you don't like these Selle Italia saddles, again, very easy to replace, upgrade in the future. You see the total bike weight of this bike, Canyon is claiming 8.46 kilograms. I'm guessing again for some kind of size medium. If you add the pedals on top of it, so ready to ride, I would probably call it about 8.7 to 8.9 kilograms for this bike. Definitely not of the lightest bikes, but as I said, this is an endurance road bike, so it is going to always be a bit on the heavier side. So you see, in a conclusion, if you are looking for the best value road bike from the Canyon range, at the moment, I can definitely recommend you to go ahead and buy the Canyon Endurace CF7 Di2 with the retail price of 2,700 US dollars or approximately 2,700 euros if you are based in the Europe. It is excellent value for money from Canyon, and definitely this is what it's all about when it comes to Canyon road bikes. So this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!